Seriously, that has to be the worst breath ever. Has your ass always been that flat, or am I just noticing it now for the first time? I'll tell you what's really bad, going up to your friend who you haven't seen in a while and saying, "Oh my God, you're pregnant!" And they're not. I've done that, and I'll tell you, the look on his face. He looked at me blankly and said, "As far as I know, men can't have babies." I tried to cover, but it was no use. "Oh, I thought I read somewhere they can." Excuse me. How many people can honestly say they're completely honest? Not too many. That's why people have to put their hand on a Bible and take an oath to testify in court. Everyone just assumes that people lie. We have to say, "I swear to God," or "I swear on my mother's life. May God strike me dead," if we really want to be believed. I really never lie. I don't. I swear to God. Like you have to, like God doesn't know the truth. I must admit, though, I do lie to my life cycle. I lie right to its control panel. It says enter program fitness. I push enter. Then it says age. I punch in 35 and I push enter. I don't want the machine to give me a workout for a 45-year-old. We want to believe people are being honest when they announce, "I have something important to say." I know I do because I use it as a cue to turn on my hidden tape recorder. It's quite a clever ruse, actually, because if instead they told the truth and declared, "I have something to say that's so dull, so tedious, it'll make you wish you didn't have ears," who'd listen? When it comes to clear communication, these useless phrases, expressions, and cliches aren't really up to snuff, whatever that means. Let's just say people say a lot of things that are ridiculous. For some reason, when people try to cheer you up or point out that things could be worse, they say all sorts of stupid stuff. This is one that someone told me. I felt sorry for myself because I had no shoes until I met a man with no feet. Okay. What do you say to that? Yes, it's terrible. He has no feet, but that doesn't change the fact that the other guy doesn't have any shoes. And that guy with no feet, he doesn't need shoes. The guy with feet does. I mean, are we supposed to feel sorry for the guy with no feet? Because I tell you, I saw a guy on TV who only had a torso. He didn't even have a head. How about these doozies? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Adversity builds character. God doesn't give you anything you can't handle. I've revised those to make them more accurate. What doesn't kill you puts you in a whole lot of pain and makes you cry a lot and you want to crawl into a hole forever and live with rodents. Adversity builds character. Translation: you become bitter and angry and then people hate you even more. God doesn't give you anything you can't handle. Unless God's in on it and doesn't like you either. Comes down to the fact that people love to talk. I mean, I've made a career out of it. We delight in the sound of our own voices, especially those that cheerfully yell out, "Careful," right after you stumble. If they were truly looking out for us, wouldn't they say careful before we tripped? It's as pointless as a photographer telling a pair of newlyweds that they both have spinach in their teeth immediately after taking their picture. Yes, Alanis, that's way worse than rain on your wedding day. What's even worse is the new trend of saying, "You know what I mean?" Often it's said after each and every sentence a person says. You know what I mean? It's used so much it's become one word. You know what I mean? People who use it seem unsure if they're being understood correctly. I admire that. I always repeat back what they said to ensure I've comprehended. Now what I think you're saying is that you're thirsty, but I'm only saying that because you just said you were thirsty, but I might have misinterpreted. You could have been cryptically explaining to me the genetic code of the common housefly, and if that's the case, no. I don't know what you mean. Verbal padding is everywhere, but my biggest pet peeve is when someone asks, "Can I ask you a question?" Okay, first of all, that was a question. Do you want to ask another question? This will be your second question, and that's my question limit, so make it a good one. You can waste even more time and money, yes, time is money, by responding with, "That depends on what the question is." Now, let's do the math here. Remember, 1 minute of personal time can be worth up to 75 cents. Can I ask you a question? How would you know if it's the kind of question you'd care to answer unless you actually hear it? You can't. Anyway, it's not like they're at a press conference. I'm sorry, I can't answer that question at the present time. But all I asked was, do you know the way to San Jose? I'm sorry, but unless you're Dionne Warwick, I have no response. But I am Dionne Warwick. And so it goes. So for the good of all humankind, I suggest that we liberate ourselves from those empty expressions and wasted words. For your reference, here's an incomplete list of things I kindly ask nobody say around me anymore. Stop and smell the roses. Well, what if you're allergic to roses? Wake up and smell the coffee. What if you drink tea? What then, Einstein? Happy as a clam. Okay, if clams are so happy, then why do people clam up when they get mad? Heavens to Betsy. For the love of Pete. Who's Pete? Who's Betsy? And do they know each other? Take care. Take care is short for take care of yourself. What does take care mean? Where's the care? I'll take it. Pretty soon it'll just be take. Maybe that's what the British are doing with ta-ta. It's short for take care, ta-ta. Or maybe it's some sort of potato dish. I don't know much about the British. I just know they enjoy wearing hats and trench coats and eating boiled meats. Have a nice day. Cashiers and other service industry people are forced by their supervisors to say this to each customer. They don't mean it. What they're really saying is, please God, I don't want to get fired. He, or she, wouldn't hurt a fly. Everyone hurts flies. Someone realized the hatred of flies is so universal that they actually came up with a device to kill them. They try to disguise it with a nice, gentle name, a fly swatter. No, it's a fly squasher. Nobody buys it just to swat at them playfully. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. Aren't families dysfunctional enough as it is without bringing innocent animals into the picture? The sun'll come out tomorrow. Yes, but only if you're the one that wrote the song of the same name for the hit musical Annie. In that case, then the sun comes out for you every time you receive your big fat royalty check. Nothing is forever. However, diamonds apparently are forever. They also happen to be a girl's best friend. Man's best friend? The much less flashy dog. You win some, you lose some. Although I do have a habit of saying this one during sex. That J-Lo is a hot little number. I know that's not technically an expression, but my mom said it once and I'd prefer she never say it again. Well, that's the long and short of it. See what I've done here? I've wasted your time by using that phrase, the long and short of it. If I included it as a way to quickly wrap up this chapter, I've defeated the purpose, not to mention the words I'm using to explain this to you. On top of that, I haven't made any sense. How can something be long and short? It can't. It's physically impossible. You can't be fat and skinny, or hot and cold, or ugly and pretty. In the 70s, my mother did have some orange shag carpet that was pretty ugly, but that's a whole nother can of worms.